fresh, new beginnings. Anytime, anywhere, any moment, any breath. Right now is the perfect place and time to start. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is Piper. She's right on cue, and that's Bonnie back there, and Dwayne's doing the cameras. Thank you guys for being here. As I said, I'm Jan, and this is your yoga from home. That's the most important part. This is a place where you do what is right for your body, your one and only body. Nobody else is like you. You're the best. Nobody else is like you. You have to take care of you. Nobody else is going to do it. Take this time to take care of you so you can help take care of others and just live your best life. You know, that sounds trite because you hear it all the time, but it's really true. Move it or use it so you can live your best life. This is a 1 hour long practice. Every day our practices are different. You can stick around as long as suits you. And I think you'll find if you get into it, the hour goes by really quickly and you really do feel good. And you know, you're doing it from home, so you don't have to commute to the gym, you don't have to commute to the yoga studio and back. You're doing it from home, so use that time. If you like our broadcast, send us a thumbs up or whatever you do, or subscribe on Facebook and YouTube so you can stay with us every single day live. It'll be good for you. Today's practice, we call this our MF practice. This is our mobility and flexibility practice. Like I said, every day is different. Do what you can with what you got. Take it slow. Do what feels good. That's the most important thing. And zero pressure. Zero pressure. From me, from anybody else, and most importantly from you. Zero pressure. Word to think about today as you practice is this. It is rest. And what does rest mean? I love this definition of rest. Rest means relief or freedom from anything that worries, troubles, or disturbs. So let this be a time of rest. All right, you're going to need some props as you rest on your mat today. Props. Have a strap nearby. A yoga strap. You can buy them online. They're not expensive. Or you don't have one in a pinch, a dog leash, a belt to your robe would work. But buy a strap. Buy it for yourself for an early Christmas present. 2 yoga blocks. They're wonderful. If you don't have those, it's okay. We'll make it through. Some water. That's the key, isn't it? Making it through, no matter what you got, no matter where you are. An eye shade and a little hand towel are wonderful too. A yoga eye shade is so nice. This one's filled with lavender, so it's very refreshing and very relaxing. That's what it is. All right, let's go. Let's start. Stress number. Come down to your mat. We're going to be on our mat. We're going to start out in a seated position. Stress number. How are you feeling right now? On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, what's going on in that wonderful one and only body of yours? Lock that stress number in and you'll be really surprised. It's really going to start to come down. All right, let's come into child's pose. New beginning. Something different. You got to shake it up, right? Okay, here we go. Child's pose. Come to a neutral tabletop. Knees can be together, big toes touching, hips back toward your heels. You can have a block or 2 with you at the top of your mat. Here's what you can do with the blocks. You can rest your forehead on the block. Bring your arms down by your sides, palms face up, shoulders relaxed away from the ears, and breathe. An option, knees spread wide. This is called a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes touch, hips back toward your heels. You can reach your arms long to the top of your mat, or place your hands on your blocks. Now you do it any way you like. No pressure to do one over the other. Maybe you like the block under the forehead. Rest. All who are weary, come to rest. Deep breath in and deep breath out. These props, you use them however feels good for you today. No pressure to perform. Yoga is not a performing art. It is a healing art. Big breath in through your nose. Maybe some big sighs. Make them audible. Nobody can hear you. Let it go. Sigh it out. Think of your tailbone going to the back of your mat. Think of your arms reaching either to the top of your mat if you're in the extended child's pose, like I am, or have them reach the fingertips toward the bottom of the mat if you're in a classic child's pose. big breaths in and big breaths out. Relax your mind and just realize you are perfect right here in this moment. This is right where you're supposed to be. Just breathing, not worrying about anything. Deepen your breath. And if you like, close your lips and do all your breathing in and out of your nose, if that works for you. Listen to the depth of your breath in the back of your throat. Child's pose, come back to it anytime you want, or maybe this feels so good you just want to stay here longer. If that is what your body wants, listen to it. I'm going to come out of this pose and come on up to a seated position. Maybe you keep your eyes closed for part of the way coming up. And then grab a seat on your mat. I'm going to do Sukhasana. Okay, this pose. Lots of ways you can take this. You can bend your knees generously if that works. Are they warmed up? You can bend your knees generously and come into Sukhasana. If bending your knees doesn't feel so good, give yourself permission to keep your legs long, or maybe bend one leg and see how that goes. Sukhasana pose. I'm going to bend both knees, bring one foot up on top of the opposite thigh. Let the top knee kind of sort of relax. I can help that with a block underneath it. If you want, if you can, the bottom foot, you can bring that on up onto the opposite knee as well. I can't do it. I'm not hung up on it. I'm letting it go. Hands down on your knees or on your thighs. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a deep breath out, maybe through your nose. Or maybe you just want to sigh it out again. Let it go. So you can feel this in Sukhasana. You're really working on the hips. Let them be, let them rest, and let's take our mind off of them. Lift your arms on up to the sky. Turn your palms toward the front of the room. Kind of like a I surrender position. Send them on up, and then start to move one hand up toward the sky, then the other. Let me move this camera back a little bit so you can see the hands. So the hands are reaching up toward the sky. And just feel the length in the side body as you lift one arm and then the other. Close your eyes and breathe. Let it feel good. No rush, no hurry. Just stretch through one hand, then the other. Bring the arms to stillness. Reach both arms up high to the sky, and then bend your elbows. Maybe interlace your fingers. Bring your interlaced fingers, your hands behind your low skull. Open up your elbows to the back of the room. Open up the chest, breathe. Big breath in and big breath out. Release your hands, walk them forward on the ground in front of you, and take a big stretch here. Reach your arms, your fingertips long to the front of your room. Your gaze is down, kind of maybe towards your ankles, or maybe you take your gaze farther towards your navel. Slowly come on up, shoulders over hips, hands come behind your low back now. Press your chest on up to the sky as you take kind of like a little baby back bend. Chin goes up to the sky. Breathe, and then finish. Shoulders over your hips. It doesn't take a whole lot of movement to just refresh the body and to get the juices flowing. Just do it. That's the hardest part. All right, maybe you got your blocks by your side, or maybe no blocks at all. One arm lifts high to the sky, and then let it cross the midline of your body while the opposite hand is on the ground. Reach, stretch, stretch. Take a moment here. Breathe deeply. Top shoulder, bring it back a little bit more toward the back wall. Kind of that, oh yeah, it should be back farther moment. Breathe. The bottom elbow, the hand that's pressing into the earth, maybe adjust it up or down. Maybe you like that block there to bring the ground up. You decide. Hello to Betty, Stan, Esther, Lynn, Karen, Kelly, Margaret, Tammy, Sherry, Betty, Tina, Rena, Tim, Steve, Marietta, Yvette, glad you're here. Reach a little farther through those fingers. All right, come on back up. Back up nice and slowly to the midline of your body. Place your hand on the ground, the opposite hand. Lift the opposite arm and let it cross the midline of your body. Take your deep breaths. Top shoulder back, don't forget that. Keep your bottom cheeks equally down on the mat. The tendency is to let one pop up. Don't do that. Maximize the stretch. So both cheeks are down. Arm is reached and lifting. Top shoulder is back. Chin away from the chest. Big breaths in and out. Let it feel really good. Lengthen the side body. A lateral flexion of the spine. Sideways movement of the spine. Breathe. Slowly, when you're ready. Slowly, that's the key word. Come on up. Come on up. Hands to your knees, lengthen up. Exhale, let it go. Let's switch out our legs. However you have them, bring them so they're the opposite. I had my right leg on top. I'm gonna put that on the bottom and then bring the left leg on top. If you had one leg bent and one leg extended, switch it. Give yourself equal time. You know, finding balance in the body is what it's kind of all about. All right, Sukhasana, however's comfortable, lengthen up. And soften up in the shoulders, let it go. Let that knee that's on top, let the outside of it melt more to the ground as you think about just surrendering to the earth, surrendering to gravity in a good way. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's lift our arms on up to the sky. Arms are lifted to the sky. Bring your palms so they are facing the front of your room. Lengthen up. And breathe, and then start to reach through one arm, then the other, as if you're climbing up. Reach, stretch, find space. Space is good, right? We're all too compressed. Compressed in our back, compressed in our neck, compressed in our thoughts. Open up. All right, how's the reaching coming along? Finish up. Still your hands. Reach both arms up equally, up high, high, high to your sky. Bend your elbows, interlace your fingers, cradle your skull, press the elbows to the back of your room. And you know, if you can't quite get the hands interlaced, you can always take your fingers to your temples. Breathe. Deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Big broad shoulders. Feels good in the back, doesn't it? Exhale. Release. Arms walk forward. Take that stretch as you reach to the front of your room. Gaze down toward perhaps your ankle or back toward your belly button. Breathe. Slowly walk the hands back up towards your body, shoulders over your hips, hands behind your low back. Lift out of your chest. Let your chest go high to the sky. Open up. Feels good to open up, like fish pose, right? Feels good to open up through the chest. Let's finish up. Shoulders over your hips, side bends again. Let's bring one arm down to either a block or to your mat. Lift the other arm high, really reach through that arm. Let it cross the midline of your body. Using the foundational elbow, take it lower if you want. Chin away from the chest, top shoulder back. Breathe. Maybe the eyes close so you can just get into the feeling of the sensations in your body. You know, I think a lot of times we're on autopilot and we don't feel what we feel. Let both bottom cheeks be on the mat. You can reach a little farther. How far could you go if you didn't limit yourself? Slowly, with control, come on back up to the midline of your body, shoulders over your hips. Opposite arm goes down to either your block or your earth, my earth, our earth. Lift your arm high up to the sky. Deep breath in. Cross the midline of the body and take that stretch here. Nice and graceful. Nice, slow, fluid movements because you are in control. Top shoulder back. Bottom cheeks are down. Chin away from the chest. adjust to what feels magnificent. Reach, breathe, enjoy. A little more reach. And then slowly finish up. Come on back up to the midline. Hands onto both knees. Take a big breath in. And a big shoulder softening breath out. Let's come out of the leg position that we're in. Hips are awake now, I promise you that. Bring your feet away from your knees. Come to a thunderbolt position. All right, what is thunderbolt? All it is sitting back on your heels. So your knees are really bent. If it doesn't feel good, lots of ways to work around it. Extend your legs or slip a block behind your heels or put a towel or a blanket back there between the heels and your bottom. Just feel right. So in thunderbolt pose, hands are on your thighs. Thunderbolt pose is a big stretch for the knees. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, soften in the shoulders. Let's do some neck circles. If neck circles don't feel right for you, don't do them. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and soften in the shoulders. For your neck circles, just circle your head around on your neck. Nothing magical here. Do what feels right. And all those little sounds you hear in your neck? I hear sounds. Do you hear sounds? All those little sounds you hear in your neck, it's okay as long as it doesn't hurt. But if you have any questions about your practice, always check with your doctor. Circle your head in the other direction. And most importantly, listen to you. You're your own best instructor. You know what feels good in your body and what is painful. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Back at the midline. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Shrug your shoulders to the back of the room and bring them on down. Do some shoulder circles or shoulder shrugs to the back of the room. Now shoulder shrugs to the front of the room. That feels awkward. But just try it. Finish up with the shoulder shrugs. Bring one ear. I'm going to bring my right ear to my right shoulder. I'm going to lift my right arm up to the sky and then bring my right hand to the top of my left ear and encourage my head down toward my right shoulder. I'm going to let my left shoulder relax away from the ear. Nice big stretch here. Use your hand, using as much leverage as is right for you. Finish up, remove your hand, bring it up back on down to your thigh, bring your head back to the midline of your body, lengthen up through your spine. As you breathe in and exhale, soften up. Other side, left arm lifts up, left elbow bends, left fingertips come on top of your right ear now, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Bring the left ear to the left shoulder, let the right shoulder soften. Use your hand. Feel the nice big stretch there. Just slow down. No need to rush. Feel the movement, the stretch, the lengthening in your neck. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's finish. Slowly remove your hand. Slowly bring your head back up to the midline of your body. Let's take our arms, tee them out nice and big. Bring the backs of your palms to the back of the room. Chest is lifted. Give yourself a big hug. One arm comes on top. Elbows maybe cross the midline of your body. Hands reach them toward your spine. Give yourself a big, tight squeeze and then broaden in the shoulders as you release the shoulders to the side of the room. Feel that nice big hug. Big breath in, big breath out. Strength, you got it here. Use your strength. Remember what arm is on top. Tee out your arms. Pulse the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Let your chest lift up to the sky. Opposite arm, bring it on top as you give another big hug here. Reach your fingers towards your spine, soften your shoulders, and drive them towards the side of the room. Nice tight squeeze in this nice big hug. Breathe. Let's release that tight hug. Feels good. Do this throughout the day. We all need more hugs. Bring your hands away from your shoulders, down by your sides. Let's come into toes pose with ragdoll arms. All right, you can use a block or no block at all. Come to standing on your knees. Tuck your toes towards your shins. Have a seat on your heels or on your block. Or you can use a blanket. Whatever feels good. All right, I'm not going to use a block. I'm going to sit back on my heels. Toes are really bent. You're getting a big stretch in the bottom of the foot here. You can place your hands on your thighs if you want. Soften in the shoulders. This is a tough pose. If it is painful, come out of it. If it is uncomfortable, you're stronger. You've done more uncomfortable things. Stay here and breathe through it. I'm going to bring the ragdoll arms, hands behind my low back, reaching my fingertips toward opposite elbows, softening in my shoulders. With my forearms, I'm going to kind of press into my low back, letting my chest lift up to the sky, driving my elbows to the back of the room. Eyes are closed. Crown of the head lengthens up. Breathe here in your toes pose. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Each exhale lets your shoulders soften even more. And come out of it anytime you want to. You know you the best. Another deep cycle of breath, maybe, knowing this is the last one in this pose. So let the toes relax. Take it to its extent. And then let's finish. Arms come back around to the front. Come forward into a neutral tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, knees under hips. Lift your toes up. Squeeze and scrunch them. They don't feel real good right now. They're cramped. Squeeze them, scrunch them. Circle your ankles in both directions. Tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Let's do the complementary pose to toes pose called ankle pose. Tops of your feet are on your mat. Maybe grab your blocks, sit back on your heels. The blocks can be by your side if you like you're in a throne. Press into the blocks and put the weight back onto the tops of your feet. Maybe no blocks at all, and you find your balance. So your ankle pose. Moving your ankles in the opposite direction that we just did in toes pose, getting a nice stretch here. Maybe hands are at prayer center or resting on the blocks or resting on the ground. You can do it any way you like. Maybe press into the feet a little bit more, taking the knees a little bit higher. Just take a moment, feel what you feel. How does that feel? How's that stretch feel? If it's uncomfortable, maybe it's just because you haven't done this in a while, a long while. So find the mobility here. Let's finish up in this ankle pose. Let's come on back to a child's pose. All right, for your child's pose, remember this one, you can have the knees together, big toes touching, hips back to the heels, arms down by your sides to begin, forehead down to a block or to your mat. Extended child's pose is your option. Knees spread wide, hips back toward your heels. They don't have to sit on your heels. Nobody's judging you. Maybe reach your arms along to the top of the mat. Use that block under your forehead if you want. Or sink your head all the way down. You've got more mobility in your knees, in your ankles, in your hips, in your quads. Reach. Maybe you can reach even farther, either to the bottom of the mat or to the top of the mat, because you've got length in your side bodies now. Big breath in, big breath out. Whatever it is, let's take a moment of gratitude and thanks for what we have. Here's what we'll do. Bend your elbows, bring your palms to touch behind your head. Hug your biceps toward your ears. Hands are in a prayer position, prayer in gratitude. And hold it here. Feel the big stretch in the triceps, the backs of the arm. Palms are touching. Be thankful for what you got. It is the season. Big breath in, big breath out. Stay here if you want, or come on out of your child's pose. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Let's do cat-cow. Press into your hands. You're in a neutral tabletop, wrists over shoulders, knees under hips. Tailbone is lengthening to the back of the room, crown of the head to the front. Press the tops of your feet into your mat and press your hands into your mat as well. Be really strong here and fight against this gravity. Cat-cow. Tuck your chin to your chest. Tuck your tailbone under. Arch your back up to the sky like a Halloween cat. Press the tops of your feet into your mat. Press hard into your hands. Inhale, cow, tailbone, and crown of the head lift. Maybe you're doing this with your eyes closed so you can focus on what you're feeling. Alternate between cat and cow, letting your breath be the guide. Exhale, cat. Your belly button comes to touch your spine. Inhale, cow. Navel comes down toward the earth, crown of the head goes up to the sky, and your tailbone goes up to the sky too. Couple of cat-cows. And then let's finish in our cat-cow. Let's do cat pulling its tail. All right, press into the earth from a neutral tabletop position. Lift your right leg up, bring your knee to about hip height. Maybe circle your ankle around and around a couple of times. Maybe draw your foot closer to your bottom. Maybe you stay right here. For cat pulling its tail, I'm going to take my opposite hand, the left hand, since my right leg is lifted, reach around and capture the foot, kick into my hand. I'm gazing down to my right thumb, and then I'm going to look over my left shoulder. Maybe you look to the corner of your mat or to the side of your room, or look over the shoulder. Kick hard into the hand, press hard into the earth, and then finish. Come on down. Knee and hand meet back on the mat. How do you like that? Let's press hard into the earth. We have another side to do. Maybe you lift the knee up, up, up to about hip height and you stay right here. Maybe you circle the ankle a little bit, squeeze and scrunch the toes. Press hard into the earth. Right hand reaches around and captures the left foot. Kick hard into the right hand. Feel your chest opening up as you look to the right side of your room or up toward the sky or over the shoulder. There you go. There's your cat pulling its tail. No hurries, just appreciate what you got. Finish up. Knee comes down, hand comes down, cat-cow to even everything out back at the midline. Chin to your chest, tailbone under, cow pose, tailbone lifts, crown of the head lifts. Let's slip on down to our bellies to do a broken wing pose. All right, come down to your belly, tee out your left arm so your hand is at about shoulder height. Right arm is bent, hand under your collarbones. Roll over onto your left hip. Oh, you're starting to feel it now. So you want to feel this good stretch in the left arm. Adjust your arm. Maybe you need to bring it down a little bit. Maybe you need to put more of a bend in the elbow. You do what's right. Legs are long. You can rest your head on a block or on the mat. Right arm is the key here. You're pressing into it to increase the depth of that stretch in the left shoulder. Breathe here. Let it feel good. Now here's something you can do with your legs. The top leg, the right leg, you can bend it. You can bring the sole of the right foot in front of the extended long left leg. And kind of push into the foot a little bit. Get some leverage there. Breathe. Breathe, most important part. The right foot, the one that's bent, if you don't like it in front of the leg, you can bring it behind the leg. Imagine driving the knee up to the sky and breathe. Let's finish. Send the leg long if you took one of the variations. Roll over onto your belly and let's do the opposite side. Right arm tees out, left arm bends. I'm gonna turn just so my bottom's not facing the camera, but you can just roll over on the other side. Right arm extends, left arm bends, legs can be long. Push into that left hand. Feel the stretch in the shoulder. Breathe deeply, no pain. No pain. Do what's right. Top leg, you can bend it. Bring it in front of the extended right leg. Or bring it behind the extended right leg. Let the knee go up to the sky. Breathe. Let's finish. Roll back onto your belly. Hands under your collarbones. Press on up to a seal pose. So arms are straight, bottom is relaxed. Soften, think of the hips spreading wide, and then come on up. Grab a drink of water if you like. We're gonna do plank next. All right, here's the deal. Have a glass, a sip of water or whatever you got, and we'll do plank. We do plank just about every day. And I hope you are too. I set a timer for 1 minute. You know that. You can watch the timer on the screen, or I'll tell you if you don't even want to look at the screen, if you're just so into your plank. Just try to do it longer every day. Every day is different. Maybe not every day you'll increase in time. No big deal. Just try. Try. That's it. Okay, here's the deal. Plank pose. We're going to give thanks for our planks. Okay. All right, it's that month. Come on now. All right, so you can come to a neutral tabletop. You can send your knees back a little more, arms a little more forward. You can hinge your weight more into your arms. That would be fine. You know, you feel more weight shift into your upper body, into your strong arms. We need to stay strong as we age. Everybody needs to stay strong. You can stay here on your knees. Another variation, if this doesn't feel right for your wrists, you could always fold your mat over and make it double thickness. Maybe that feels good. Or slip down to your forearms, elbow under your shoulders. Here's a dolphin plank. Adjust your knees, send them on back, and then shift your weight more forward. Again, feel it in your core here. Perhaps you tuck your toes towards your shins and press on up into a dolphin plank. I'm going to take a high plank today with shoulder taps. Come into whichever variation is right for you. 1 minute. Do as long as you like. Maybe take little tick marks on your calendar, keeping track of how you progress, because you will progress. Come into your variation. I'm going to come into high plank, and let's start the timer now. All right, 1 minute. Here we go. If you're joining me in a high plank, shoulders are over your wrists, feet are hip width distance apart. Push hard into the earth, lengthen through the crown of your head, and shoot energy out your heels. We are over 10 seconds in. You have got this. Breathe. Anytime you want to take a break, you know how to take breaks. You could drop to your knees and take a breath or two, or send your hips high for a downward facing dog. It's all good. We are halfway, just about halfway there. Shoulder taps. Opposite hand touches opposite shoulder. Once or twice. Kind of a little pat on the shoulder. Breathe. Push into the earth. Guess what? We've got 20 seconds to go. You've done it 40 seconds already. Stick with it. 15 seconds to go. You've got it. Maybe a shoulder tap here and there. Got to shake it up and do something different. We are at 5 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Bend your knees. Come on down. How'd you do? Try. That's what is the most important part. Let's come down to our backs. Have your strap at about shoulder height so you can grab it in a little bit. Come on down to fully reclined. Let's do a variation of dead bug. All right, so let's lift our legs up, knees over hips, toes drawn towards your shins, arms lift up to the sky, and then take your hands and press into your thighs. Now press your thighs back into your hands. Put a really strong press here. Breathe. Hands are going to keep contact with your legs. Extend your right leg long while still pushing hard on the left side. Bring your right leg back. Extend the left leg long. Still pressing hard. Right leg into right hand. Alternate with your dead bug pose. Extending one leg, but not giving up on that strong push. Breathe. It's hard. You got it. And remember, your yoga makes you stronger. You get strong. Stick with it. Come back to your starting position. Both knees over hips. Press hard into your hands. One more time. Press hard back into the legs. And then finish. Whew. Feet come down. You know what would feel good right here? Bridge pose. Soles of your feet are down on your mat. Push hard into your feet. Lift your hips on up high. Feel the stretch in the hip flexors. Breathe. Roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Now, find your strap. Take your strap. Place the center of the strap underneath the centers of your feet. Send your legs high up to the sky. Oh, this feels good. Maybe you stay here. Now you could be using, remember, that dog leash, a belt to your robe. It's all good. Maybe a little bend in your knees might feel good too. Let's come into a boat pose using the strap. How do we do it? Well, first thing we're going to do, let your heels work toward the earth. Think of them as heavy and weighted. Slowly peel your upper body up, 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 off of your mat. Come on up to seated. Squeeze your shoulders back toward your spine. Lean back like you're in a beach chair. Press hard through your feet. Hold on tightly like reins of a horse, right? And breathe. Most important part, breathe, hold here. Play with your balance a little bit. Maybe send the feet higher, legs higher. Maybe send them a little bit lower. We'll do boat pose often throughout our practices, many times without the strap at all. But the strap just kind of, I think we do it 1 day a week typically. It just kind of brings you back to proper form and makes it doable and helps you realize it's accessible. I can do this. You can use the strap anytime you want. Absolutely. Breathe. Hello, Karen. How are you? And Rena. I said hi to Rena. Hi, Rena. Good to see you. Breathe. All right, let's bring our heels on down. Come on up to a seated position. Whew, release that strap. Now the best part, pentacle pose. Come back to fully recline, but take your time, don't crash. Take it back nice and slowly because you have a tight, strong core. Pentacle pose, look like the letter X. Arms and legs reach to all 4 corners of the room. Palms face up, enjoy the getting here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Reset, realign, restore, you got it. Remember this pentacle pose because you're going to have an option in a little bit. We'll do some standing poses, but if you don't want to do the standing poses, if you want to stay down on your mat, you can come back to this pentacle pose. It's a great place to be. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. When you're ready, bring your legs back to the midline of your body and come on up to a seated position. Arms down by your sides, come on up to seated, legs go long on your mat. Toes up toward the sky, take a deep breath in as your arms lift. And exhale, reach forward. Reach forward, think of finding space in your low back. This feels really nice. Subtle, subtle niceness. That's good. Reach through your fingers, toes up toward the sky. Reach down to capture your calves, your feet, whatever you can capture. Don't judge yourself. Maybe you can't reach very far. Don't sweat it. You could. Take your strap under your feet again and just use it to help you go more forward. Think of folding your body in half like a paper clip, holding on to your feet, your ankle, your calves. Come on up to a seated position, shoulders over your hips. Find your 2 blocks, spread your legs nice and wide, and bring the blocks between your legs. Blocks are between your legs and your wide-legged forward fold. You really feel it in these adductor muscles inside your thighs. Blocks or pillows stacked up, whatever feels good. A little bend in your knees might feel good. Hands perhaps, or forearms to your block. Lengthen up, that's an important part, and exhale, fold forward. Now your blocks can be at whatever height feels wonderful for you today, and every day is going to be different. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And if you have no blocks at all, reach your hands forward. Maybe let your forearms rest on the earth. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold your chest more forward toward the earth. Deep breath in and deep breath out. On your next inhale, press into your hands, come on back up to seated and bend one leg. Bend one leg, bring it inside the thigh of the opposite leg. If it doesn't work, bend it to what degree is right for you. Lengthen up as you look toward the extended leg side. Take a twist in the torso, bring both hands to the outside of the bent leg. Twist and look to that side. Look over the shoulder, keeping both bottom cheeks down. And then finish. Come back to center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's do it again on the other side. The extended leg side, 2 hands can come down to the earth. Can't quite reach that earth. Bring the block to your side and just take a little twist. Slowly come back to the midline of your body and swap out your legs. The other leg will go long, the other leg will bend to whatever degree feels right for you. Letting that knee work down to the earth, lengthen up. Exhale, twist toward the bent knee side. Maybe your hands are on the outside of that thigh and you're just going to twist. Maybe hands onto the block or maybe hands down to the earth. Slowly come back to the midline of your body. Other side, twist toward the extended leg. Hands maybe to the outside of the thigh. to the earth and just twist. Or use a block, it's all good. Slowly come back to the midline of your body. You got it. Let's do some lunges. Come on out of this pose by bending both knees and come on up to our usual lunge pose. We're gonna add a little twist to it though. Twist. It is a twist. All right, so come on up standing on your knees. Right leg forward, right knee over right ankle. Press into your blocks. They bring the ground up to you. You could slip your towel underneath your extended long left leg if that feels better on your knee. Right knee over right ankle. Press into your blocks. Left leg goes super long on your mat. Send it even longer. Maybe press into your blocks. Maybe lift on up, shoulders over your hips. Maybe you keep your hands on your blocks. Maybe you got your hand on your thigh and you're just holding on for dear life here. It's all good. Maybe lift your arms high up to the sky. Reach, lengthen, take a baby back bend if you want. Fingers back up to the sky. Here's the different variation. Remove your blocks a little bit away from your legs. Right knee is forward. Take your right hand, take your left hand and place it inside your right foot. So your left hand is on the mat with your right foot. Take the right hand, lift it up, up, up to the sky and look up to the sky. Take a couple of breaths here. No rush, no hurry, breathe. Now when you're ready, slowly bring the right hand down. Place the right hand inside the right foot. Lift the left arm up, up, up to the sky. Press the right arm into the right leg so they're really pushing into each other like you did in Dead Bug. Lift the left arm up, up, up to the sky. And then finish. Hands come down to your mat. Reintroduce your blocks and surf it out. Straighten the right leg and send your bottom back towards your heels. Doesn't have to go all the way. You decide. Walk forward with the blocks. Right knee can come forward of the ankle. Breathe. Chest is lifted. We're striving forward. Send the hips on back again. Maybe the hips come back to sit on the heel. Maybe you use no blocks at all. You decide what works for you. Press on back up and surf it out. A few times. I don't know how far you want to take it. And let's finish up. Come on back up to the starting position. Right knee meets left knee on the mat. Reintroduce your blocks to push into them as you send the left leg forward, knee over ankle. Right leg scoots super long on your mat. Let it feel good in your right hip. Breathe. Press into the blocks and stay right here if you like. Maybe shoulders more over the hips. Maybe arms reach up to the sky. Big breath in, big breath out. Reach, maybe take a baby back bend. Arms back to the top of the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Remove your blocks a little bit, not far. Right hand comes to inside of the left foot. Left arm reaches high and you look left and twist and look up to your left fingers. Push hard into your right hand. Breathe. Finish. Come back to the midline of your body. Left hand comes inside where the left foot is. Push the arm into the leg and the leg back into the arm. Right arm reaches high up to the sky. Breathe. As you're ready, finish up. Hands come back to meet on the mat. Reintroduce your blocks. Start to surf it out if you like. You can walk back with the blocks, walk them forward, send the knee more forward of the ankle. Totally fine here. Nice big stretch in the right hip flexors. Work it on back as far as you want to take it, and work it on forward as far as you want to take it. Maybe no blocks at all here. Breathe. Surf it out a few times, just however you want. And when you're ready, let's finish up. Here's where your choice comes in. Bring your knees together to meet. You can come back down onto your mat and fully recline in your pentacle pose, or you can join us for 4 standing poses. I'm going to come on up to standing. In this standing pose, we're going to start with a half crescent moon. Yesterday, we did a banana asana on the mat, kind of sort of the exact same thing, but just standing. Lift your arms high up to the sky. Root into your feet, maybe pop up onto the balls of your toes a couple of times. Balls of your feet. Plant your heels down. Give your toes a wiggle. Plant your feet. Palms touch. Lengthen up through your fingertips. Let the arms go to one side or the other. I'm going to take them to the left. I'm going to root into my feet equally. Reach through the fingertips. Breathe. Chin away from the chest. Again, top shoulder away from the front of the room. Send it back. Bottom hand, my left hand, I'm going to pull my right wrist. Breathe. Come on back up really super slowly, back to the midline. Palms touch. Lengthen up. Exhale, soften up. Let your fingertips work to the other side of the room. For me, it'll be the right side. I didn't mirror you today, I'm sorry. All right, fingers are reaching to the other side. Root deeply into your feet. Chin away from the chest, check that out. Top shoulder back. Bottom hand, for me, the right hand's gonna pull my left wrist. Breathe. Pull. Been here before, you know this. Slowly come back up to center. Palms touch, lengthen up. Bring your hands down as you exhale to a prayer position. Soften through your shoulders. Have a moment of gratitude, a moment of thanks. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Root into your left foot, bend your right knee. Take the right knee to the outside of the room. Tree pose, you know this. Yesterday we did it on a block. Today, classic tree. Maybe you kickstand your toes or slip the right leg up a little more into the inner left leg. Push the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. The only place you don't want to put this foot is directly on the knee, because think about it, you don't want your knee going sideways. Maybe you put the foot a little higher in the thigh, you decide. Hands can be on your hips, prayer center. A chair can be here for balance. It's all good. Grow your branches if you like. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Sway your branches. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Let the knee, right knee, go back to the front of the room. Plant the right foot next to the left. Other side. You're strong. You did this on one side, you can do it on the other. Root into that right foot. Nice and long and straight, strong right leg. Left knee bends. Open up the knee to the side of the room. Place the foot wherever you like. Chair can be here for balance. It's all good. Place the foot where you like. Remember, just not on the knee. Foot into leg, leg into foot. Hands to prayer center. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Look up. Look up. It's always good to look up. Send your hands high to the sky. Sway your branches. Breathe. You're strong. You are stronger than you give yourself credit for. Don't doubt yourself. You're strong. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant the left foot next to the right. You got it. Take a deep breath in. And a big shoulder softening breath out. Ragdoll pose. A favorite of so many of us. All right. Spread your legs so they're about hip width distance apart. I dream a genie arms. Hands to opposite elbows. Exhale, hinge forward here. Put a little bend in your knees. Let your belly be between your thighs. Send your gaze back toward your knees or even higher. Let the crown of your head hang toward the earth. Put that little bend in your knees and see how that feels. Try it. There's no prizes for having straight legs. Do you do what feels good? Big breath in. Big breath out. Start to sway from side to side. One elbow back toward the knee, then the other. Breathe. Ragdoll pose, you decompress your low back. If you sit a lot, and who doesn't these days? If you sit a lot, stand up periodically and get up and do your ragdoll pose. Decompress your low back. You will feel better. Finish up at the midline of your body. Let your arms come back to the midline. Let the crown of the head hang even more toward the earth. Give your toes a wiggle. Let your hands release to your mat. And then come on down to your mat. If you're in pentacle pose, come on out of that. And you don't have to come very far if you're in pentacle pose, because we're going to go into bridge. So come on down to your back. Bend your knees. Arms down by your sides, press into your feet, send your hips good and high. Let your shoulders wiggle towards your spine, lift on up. Your feet are strong, your legs are strong, lift your hips even higher. Arms down on the mat by your sides. When you're ready, let your spine come down, one vertebra at a time. Keep your navel tucked to your spine until you get really far down here, and then release your tailbone last. Really try to hold on to it. And then release. All right, so that is your bridge pose. Let's find we'll press on up, find your strap and your eye shade or your towel. Bring the eye shade or towel up to the top of your mat. And then take your strap and let's tie a big circle in it. All right, this is your neck cradle. This feels really good. We're not gonna do it very long, but at least you'll get a feel for it, and maybe you wanna come back to it later. All right, huge circle. Place it center of the strap underneath your feet. Come on back to recline. So in this big circle, place the strap underneath your skull. And if you got the belt buckle, you don't want that behind your head. That doesn't feel very good. So the thing is here, you really want to get a good stretch on your neck. Arms down by your sides, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Press into your feet. Find length in your neck. Let this feel really good. Breathe. Something else you can do if you want. Keep the one leg in the strap. Release the other leg long onto your mat. And you can do it with just one leg. Soften in your shoulders, away from the ears and down toward the mat. You can move your leg or legs a little bit, just kind of feeling the motion in the neck. If you've done one leg, it's time to switch legs. Send the other leg up. See, you're using your strong core even to get that leg up there. And then release the other leg on down. This is really nice for a restorative practice. In fact, Thursdays and Sundays are our restorative days. Let's do this on our restorative practice this week. Soften the shoulders, maybe move the leg a little bit. Really think of creating length in the neck. And let's finish. I'm gonna bring my right leg up to meet the left. Just do one more nice stretch here through both legs. Shoulders are relaxed. Let it be. And then let's come out of it. Hopefully that left you wanting more, right? Come on out. Legs come down. Remove the strap. Eye shade. Find it. And or your towel. Cover your eyes. Final shavasana time. Bring your arms down by your sides, shoulders away from your ears. Even tuck your shoulders under a little bit underneath your back. Palms face up, eyes are closed, legs are spread a little bit, so your heels are kind of at the edges of your mat. Come back to you. Deep breath in. Big sighing breath out. Imagine your body is really heavy on this mat, yet your spirit and your heart are light. Drink in a big breath in of freshness, and breathe out any stale, residual stress or tension. Let it go. Now soften the area between your eyebrows. Shoulders are soft, release them a little bit more. Think of your ears going back to your mat as your cheeks soften. Jaws are not clenched, teeth are not touching, and even the tongue is away from the roof of your mouth. Big breath in, let your belly push up to the sky, and big breath out, let your navel sink to your spine. no thoughts, just this moment, which is perfect. Your thoughts are away. We'll come back to them later. Your breath. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Take a deep breath in. Really fill up your lungs. Really feel the chest lift up to the sky. Big breath in. And then a slow breath out, but breathe it through your lips. Let it go like it's through a little cocktail straw, called straw breathing. Let it go slowly. Let it deflate your belly so much there's nothing left in you. And when you're ready, resume your normal breathing, nice and slow and patient with yourself. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move the motion up into your hands and your wrists, and your ankles, and your feet. Just move them all different ways. On an inhale, reach high up overhead and take a big good morning stretch as if it were the first stretch of your day. In fact, bring the backs of your hands down onto your mat and then reach through one hand, like how we began in that seated position. Then reach through the other. Feel the goodness in your side bodies. Oh, big stretch. On an exhale, roll onto one side or the other, bending your elbows and your knees. Come into a fetal position. Low arms bicep is a pillow for your head. Top shoulder relaxes away from the ears. Just breathe, nothing else. When you're ready, slowly press on up. Maybe you keep your eyes closed. Either press on up with your hands or no hands at all, and come into a comfortable seated position, whatever is comfortable for you. Bring your hands to prayer center in gratitude and thanks. Soften in your shoulders. Lengthen up through your spine and the crown of your head as you inhale. And as you exhale, let everything go. Just soften up. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it. 1 hour. It goes by fast when you get into it, doesn't it? And when you focus on your breath and how good it feels, it's just wonderful, isn't it? All right. Measure that as your stress number. What was it when we began and what is it now? Can you even remember it? I'm sure it's come down and you do feel better in your body. Remember this feeling. Tell your friends about our yoga. Have them join us on Facebook, on YouTube, whatever. Or, we have a private group on Facebook. It's called Friends of 316 Yoga. Ask and I'll let you in. I post articles about what we've done and how you can improve your life. Sounds good, doesn't it? All right, you got your stress number. Remember, holding on is believing that there's only a past. Don't hold on, let it go. Letting go is knowing that there's a future, and your future is bright. I promise. Have a good day. Love you guys. We will practice tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. You need it. I need it. We all need it. Downward facing dog. Good girl. Bye. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. Come here, Bonnie. Good girl. Good girl. Hi, guys. How's life? You ready for turkey tomorrow? I bet you are. Have a good day. Bye. I'm glad that you're still here. You know what? Strangely, life gets harder when you try to make it easy. Coming to yoga, doing your yoga may be kind of hard, especially in this busy season, but you're sticking with it because you're still here. But never moving is even harder than coming to your yoga every day. Never moving makes life a lot harder. Easy has a cost. Don't take the easy path. Come do your yoga. Enjoy your yoga every day during the holidays. It's a busy time, but carve out that little bit of time for you to enjoy your time on your mat. Thanks for being here, guys. See you on your mat tomorrow. Don't forget, tell your friends to come too. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Tomorrow, be there. May not be easy, but you'll be glad you did it. See ya.